Have a look around Sarah Jama's office in Hamilton, Ontario, and there's little doubt how she views that conflict half a world away. Her outspoken attitude on the Israel-Hamas war has left Jama's constituents with a diminished voice.
I'm still supporting my constituents every single day, and I'm still able to vote. I just cannot speak in the House unless I apologize.
This is the first time she agrees to a one-on-one broadcast interview.
I called for an immediate ceasefire
Since Jama's words in October got her silenced in the Ontario legislature, leading to national headlines and concerns about free speech.
It's dangerous when we have a situation like this.
And since a video emerged raising more questions about her deeper convictions.
I think this shows the strength of the Zionist lobby here in Canada.
It's hateful, it's racist, it's anti-Semitic.
3 days after Hamas's October 7th massacre, Jama posted a statement online as an opposition MPP, not denouncing the attack, but instead demanding a ceasefire and labeling Israel an apartheid state. Facing a firestorm, she acknowledged a day later the pain that many Jewish and Israeli Canadians must be feeling, and she apologized.
I wonder what you were apologizing for in that moment.
I apologized in that moment for how my statement was interpreted and how people felt.
At Queen's Park, though, it wasn't enough, and the blowback was swift.
I hope the member will truly apologize. I hope the member will take down the statement.
The Progressive Conservative government moved to censure her, leaving Jama indefinitely barred from speaking in the legislature until she retracts her words and apologizes.
Stand up and say, I shouldn't have done that. I'll delete that tweet.
Premier Doug Ford went even further, accusing Jama of publicly supporting the rape and murder of innocent Jewish people.
I don't feel comfortable apologizing in the Legislative Assembly for things I did not say, and I will not do that.
Do you ever look back and think, there's something I could have said differently or worded differently and things could have worked out differently?
I stand by calling for a ceasefire, calling a genocide, reminding people that Palestine has been occupied, and reminding people that the outcome of this means more lives will continue to be lost.
Last March, Hamilton Centre, a hub of NDP support, gave Jama a landslide by-election win as a rookie New Democrat, sending the longtime community activist to the Ontario legislature as its only black Muslim woman.
She wants you to make space for her. Let's make some space for her, please.
This controversy, though, prompted the party to eject her from caucus. So voters who chose a New Democrat were suddenly handed an independent MPP. And politics expert Peter Grafe at McMaster University has concerns.
In a way, the people of Hamilton Centre are not fully represented in that legislature, and for reasons that simply have to do with the government of the day not approving of a certain set of views.
They now have an MPP who's not a New Democrat, who virtually has no voice in the legislature.
I think this is why the decision to censure a member of provincial parliament for views they hold is ultimately quite dangerous, because it does have the impact of cutting off the direct representation of people and of their views in the legislature.
Jama told us she's not considering resigning as a way to trigger a by-election here in Hamilton and give voters a chance to formally back her or reject her. On social media, we found plenty of Hamiltonians showing their support for Jama. This user said she's the only free voice in the legislature. Another user called on the provincial NDP to invite her back into the party. At the same time, we found many of the posts criticizing Jama used coarse language so corrosive we won't repeat it here.
What have the past weeks been like for the community?
They've been very tense. People are worried.
Jasmine Rimberg with the Hamilton Jewish Federation considers Jama's words to be hurtful and dangerous.
I've heard from a few people from the riding in the Jewish community, and they're concerned. Her language in general with this whole situation has been very irresponsible. And it echoes a lot of that we've seen from Holocaust deniers.
For a government.
In this video, Jama is heard at a recent university lecture questioning what really happened on October 7th.
There's no actual evidence of these rapes and the babies with their heads cut off. Like, all these things are pieces of misinformation. So I think this shows the strength of the Zionist lobby here in Canada and the ways in which they're able to pressure an entire government operation to censure me indefinitely.
She says her words were taken out of context.
I obviously believe survivors. I don't stand by rape. And I think what I was attempting to shed light on was a lot of the lies that has been coming out to justify acts of genocide.
When people hear Zionist lobby, a lot of people think of the old anti-Semitic trope of Jewish groups controlling governments, controlling banks, controlling the media, particularly when you say that Zionist groups are exerting pressure on the Ontario government. So what do you think is the line between that old anti-Semitic trope versus what you're saying?
There are actual lobby groups who are attacking politicians, students, activists for trying to talk about and criticize the state of Israel. And I don't think that talking about these groups and what they're actually doing is an anti-Semitic trope.
Is there anything she could say? Is there any apology in the world that you would like to hear from her?
If she realizes how important that position is and starts using more responsible language, then of course. I think it's really important that we all have a responsible dialogue with each other.
Constituents, meanwhile, remain caught in a standoff, with Jama working to fight her censure and not backing down.